The massive simulation chamber hummed with energy as Lieutenant Kara Jensen stepped into the arena. Today was no ordinary exercise. This was a live trial designed to test cadets to the absolute limit. The environment shifted constantly, throwing challenges at even the most experienced soldiers. Alien instructors watched from above, their eyes sharp and judgmental. Kara's mind was calm. She had prepared for this. Humans had a way of thinking differently, of finding solutions where others saw only danger. She scanned the arena, noting every detail, the placement of obstacles, the movement of enemy drones, the flow of energy hazards. She did not rush. She moved deliberately, letting her instincts guide her. The first challenge appeared, a dense asteroid field. Jagged rocks floated unpredictably, some spinning wildly, others emitting bursts of energy. Alien drones patrolled the area, firing intermittent pulses of energy. Cadets were expected to navigate quickly, but the difficulty was enough to overwhelm most species. Kara adjusted her stance, gripping her combat gear. With a smooth, flowing motion, she leaped onto a rotating asteroid. She used its momentum to propel herself toward the next rock, narrowly dodging a blast from an alien drone. The cadets following her hesitated, but she called out calmly, "Follow my lead. Trust the path, not the danger." Her team moved as one, their confidence growing as Kara guided them. Where the aliens had assumed panic would reign, they saw coordination, adaptability, and calm thinking. Kara's movements were precise, almost effortless, yet every step was deliberate. By the time the group exited the asteroid field, several alien instructors were exchanging stunned glances. Next came the urban battlefield, a sprawling alien city filled with twisting alleys, unstable structures, and hidden traps. Surveillance drones hovered above, scanning for movement. Alien combat units moved in synchronized squads, expecting to trap and eliminate intruders. Kara paused at the edge of the cityscape. Her eyes flicked over the environment. "Observe first," she told her team. "Then act. We adapt as we go. There is no single path." She led them through the streets, avoiding patrols, neutralizing enemy units with precise, non-wasteful actions. When a building threatened to collapse, she quickly assessed the structure and guided her team to use debris as cover while moving forward. Alien observers gasped. They had never seen a cadet manipulate the environment so effectively. "Impossible," uttered one of the instructors. "A human cannot think so fast under pressure?" Kara heard the whisper but did not react. She focused on the mission. Her squad reached the city's central square, where the final objective appeared, a heavily guarded command center. Alien officers had predicted it would be the downfall of most cadets. Kara studied the patterns of enemy movement, noting the small gaps in patrols, the blind spots in their vision, and the timing of energy turrets. "Move into groups," she instructed. "One draws attention. The other disables the defenses. Then we converge." Her squad executed flawlessly. Kara herself led the group that disrupted the defenses, using agility, speed, and strategy to evade fire. The enemy units were caught off guard, unable to respond to the human unpredictability. Within minutes, the command center was neutralized. Her squad was intact. Alien instructors stared, unable to hide their shock. "This cadet. She is not just skilled, she is extraordinary." Kara allowed herself a small smile but remained focused. The trial was not over. The final environment was the most dangerous, a zero-gravity battlefield inside a massive, rotating space station. Walls, floors, and ceilings were all interchangeable. Alien marksmen floated through the air, firing energy bolts. Explosions shook the station. Dislodging debris that drifted unpredictably, Kara activated her propulsion gear and floated into the chaos. Her body adjusted instantly to zero gravity, her movements precise and fluid. She could see the enemy patterns, their rotation through the station, and she adapted in real time. When a drone swooped toward her from above, she used its momentum against it. Redirecting it into a wall of energy shielding, her squad followed her lead, adapting to her unconventional tactics. They moved in ways that no alien instructors had expected, using gravity shifts, debris, and their own movement to create openings. Kara took a moment to plan her approach to the central control hub, a position heavily guarded by elite alien marksmen. Stay low. Move fast. Use what you have, she instructed. The squad advanced, weaving between floating debris. Kara's eyes tracked the enemy's lines of fire, and she calculated precise paths to avoid them. She spotted a venting air duct nearby and gestured. Through there? It's risky, but it's our advantage. The squad hesitated for a brief moment, then followed. They navigated the narrow, twisting duct, emerging directly behind the enemy's control hub. The marksman had no chance to react. Kara and her squad secured the hub, completing the objective. The chamber fell silent. The alien instructors stared, unable to speak. Kara had done what no other cadet could. She had survived every environment, outmaneuvered every trap, and completed every objective. Velthar descended from his observation platform, his expression unreadable. Lieutenant Jensen, you have done the impossible. Not only did you survive, but you excelled. You neutralized threats, protected your squad, and completed every mission. How? Kara shrugged lightly. We adapt. We observe. We act. Humans have survived countless situations by thinking differently. That's all. Younger alien officer, one who had doubted her before the trial, stepped forward. Lieutenant Jensen, your performance is unlike anything we've seen. You have changed our perception of humans. Perhaps we have underestimated your species entirely. Kara smiled faintly. We are underestimated often. It makes the challenge more interesting. Velthor studied her closely, his many eyes narrowing. There is more to this than skill. You're calm under pressure, your ability to anticipate and adapt. It is remarkable. The humans of Earth may have a place among the elite forces after all. But this trial, it will be debated for years. You have set a new standard. Kara simply nodded. She did not need recognition. She had proven to herself, and now to others, that humans could survive and thrive where most species failed. As she left the simulation chamber, cadets and observers alike followed her gaze. She paused for a moment to glance at the massive holographic displays of past battles. They had been meant to intimidate her. Instead, they had become less than small pieces of knowledge to apply, improve, and overcome. Her squad walked beside her, inspired and motivated by her confidence. Even alien cadets found themselves respecting her methods, wondering if they had been too rigid in their thinking. Kara's calm, quiet leadership had achieved something remarkable. She had not only completed the mission, but also reshaped how others viewed humans in the galaxy. Outside the chamber, the Academy buzzed with energy. News of Kara's performance spread quickly. Some whispered that humans should never have been allowed to join the trials. Others admitted that perhaps humanity was more capable than they had thought. Kara ignored both extremes. She knew the truth was simpler. Humans survived because they were willing to think differently, to take risks, and to trust instinct as much as training. Velthor followed her to the Academy's command center. Lieutenant Jensen, you will have a debrief soon, but no, this your trial today has made history. Other cadets, alien and human alike, will be judged against your performance. You have raised the bar higher than any of us imagined. Kara smiled, not arrogantly, but with quiet confidence. I don't aim to be the best. I aim to keep learning and to help my team succeed. That's what matters most. Velthor studied her for a long moment, then nodded. Then we shall see how far this determination can take you. Humanity may yet surprise the galaxy. As Kara walked away, she felt a surge of quiet satisfaction. The trial had been dangerous, intense, and exhausting, but she had proven that humans were capable of far more than anyone expected. The galaxy would take notice. She glanced back one last time at the floating holograms, the simulations, the footage that had once intimidated her. She remembered the yawn she had given during the initial clips. It had not been disrespect, it had been certainty. Kara Jensen knew that humans were unpredictable, resilient, and ready for any challenge. And this trial, the one designed to break her, had only shown the galaxy that humans were a force to be reckoned with. The Academy's council chamber was quiet yet tense. Senior alien officers from every corner of the galaxy had gathered, their eyes sharp and calculating. Rested on the young human standing before them, Lieutenant Kara Jensen. News of her performance in the live simulation had spread quickly. Cadets whispered her name with awe. Instructors exchanged glances, some impressed, others skeptical. Kara's calm, confident demeanor unsettled many. She stood straight, hands clasped lightly behind her back, and waited for the council to begin. Velthor, the four-armed officer who had overseen her trials, stepped forward. His voice carried the weight of authority. "Lieutenant Jensen, your performance has been unprecedented. You have survived simulations no cadet has completed before. You have adapted, led, and excelled where others would fail. Your actions demand recognition." Kara nodded slightly. "Thank you, Commander. I only did what I thought was necessary to complete the mission and protect my team." A ripple went through the chamber. Many officers had expected her to boast, to exaggerate, but her modesty surprised them. One of the elder officers, a tall being with scales that shimmered gold, leaned forward. "We have never seen a human operate with such precision and calm. Tell us, what is your secret?" Kara smiled faintly. "There is no secret. Humans rely on observation, teamwork, and adaptability. We are used to solving problems under pressure, sometimes with little information. That's what makes us resilient." Another officer, her translucent wings glowing faintly, asked, "But how do you maintain such calm in the face of danger? Most species panic instantly. Do not even flinch." Kara looked around the chamber. "Fear is natural. Panic is optional. I focus on what I can control, not what I cannot. I trust my instincts, and I trust my team. That is enough." Ow. The room went silent. Many officers whispered among themselves, acknowledging what they had suspected but never fully believed. Humans were not weak. Humans were capable of surviving, adapting, and even excelling in situations that would break others. Velthar's eyes narrowed as he studied. "Kara, your performance has forced us to reconsider many assumptions. Humans have often been underestimated. Perhaps too much." Kara tilted her head slightly, keeping her expression calm. Being underestimated can be an advantage. It allows you to act without expectation, to find opportunities where others see only obstacles. The council deliberated for hours. Voices rose and fell as alien officers argued, debated, and analyzed Kara's trial. Some insisted she should be commended, but kept under supervision. Others argued that her abilities were exceptional and deserved recognition as a symbol of human potential. Finally, Velthor raised his hands, calling for silence. After careful consideration, the council has reached a decision. "Lieutenant Jensen, you will be officially recognized as a cadet who represents the highest potential of humanity. Your performance will be recorded, studied, and used as a benchmark for all future trials. You have changed our perception of humans forever." Kara nodded humbly. "Thank you. I only hope my example can inspire others to improve, not just to compete." As the council meeting ended, cadets and officers approached her. Some shook her hand. Others bowed in respect. Alien cadets, who had once doubted her, now looked at her with admiration. Even seasoned instructors nodded in approval. Kara's calm confidence had earned more than just recognition. It had earned respect. Later, in the Academy's training halls, Kara walked past the holographic combat clips that had once been intended to intimidate her. She stopped for a moment, remembering the yawn she had given during the first viewing. Then she smiled quietly. The clips no longer seemed threatening. They were lessons. Fragments of knowledge that had helped her become stronger. A group of cadets, both human and alien, gathered nearby. One young alien asked nervously, "Lieutenant Jensen, how did you stay so calm through everything?" "I panicked so many times in training." Kara crouched slightly to meet the cadet's eye level. "You focus on what matters. Don't waste energy on fear. Learn from every mistake and trust your team." Humans survive because we adapt quickly. You can too. Her words had an effect. The cadets straightened, nodding determinedly. Others listened quietly, inspired. Kara's example was already shaping the next generation of cadets. In the days that followed, Kara continued to train, but her role expanded. She was no longer just a cadet. She became a mentor, a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. Alien officers who had once dismissed humans began consulting her on strategy and training methods. They marveled at her ability to approach problems from unexpected angles, her calm under fire, and her ability to inspire others. One afternoon, Velthor approached Kara in the training halls. "Lieutenant Jensen, I've observed many cadets, many species, and many strategies. Yet humans, you are different. There is a spark in your species, a combination of courage, intelligence, and adaptability that is rare. Perhaps humans are meant for something greater than we imagined." Kara shrugged lightly. "We have always survived. We find ways to thrive, even in dangerous situations. That's what humans do." Velthor smiled faintly. "It is remarkable. Your example will shape the Academy for decades. Others will learn from your methods, your calm, and your adaptability. Humanity's potential is finally recognized." "Thanks to you," Kara smiled, not out of pride, but with quiet satisfaction. She had done what she set out to do. She had shown that humans were capable of far more than anyone expected. And yet, she knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges far greater than the Academy's simulations. Humans had been underestimated for too long. It was time to prove just how far they could go. As the Academy prepared for new trials and training programs, Kara walked past the combat clips once more. They flickered silently, showing the battles that had once been intended to intimidate her. She remembered the fear she had felt not for herself, but for the teams who had faced such danger without the advantage of human unpredictability. She smiled softly. Those clips were not threats. They were lessons. Every alien officer and cadet who had watched her now knew that humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and unstoppable when necessary. In the quiet of the training hall, Kara thought about the future. She knew that humanity's reputation in the galaxy would change, that other species would no longer underestimate them. But she also knew the challenges ahead would be even greater. She would face new simulations, new missions, and new enemies. And she would meet each one with the same calm, quiet confidence that had carried her through the Academy's trials. Her team gathered around her. "Lieutenant Jensen," one cadet said, "we couldn't have done it without you. You taught us to stay calm, to trust ourselves, and to adapt. You've changed how we fight." Aaron nodded. "We all learn from each other. That is what makes a team strong. Humans survive not because we are stronger, but because we work together and adapt. That's the lesson I want everyone to remember." As she left the hall, the alien cadets whispered among themselves, some in admiration, some in disbelief. Humans had not only survived, they had excelled, taught, and inspired. Kara had become a living symbol of humanity's potential, proof that the species was capable of far more than anyone had believed. That evening, as Kara looked out at the stars from the Academy balcony, she felt a quiet determination. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and opportunities alike. Humans had only begun to show what they could do. She thought about future missions, alien alliances, and challenges that no one had yet imagined. And she knew that humanity would face them all, not with fear, but with courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. The stars stretched endlessly before her, and she smiled. The first challenge had been completed, and humans had proven themselves. But the real adventure, the one that would define their place in the galaxy, was just beginning. Kara Jensen, young human lieutenant, had not only survived, she had changed the way the galaxy saw humanity, and she would continue to do so, one mission at a time. The starship hummed quietly as it glided through the thin clouds of Earth's upper atmosphere. Inside, a group of alien students peered out of the observation windows. They'd never seen a planet like this. Blue oceans stretched endlessly, interrupted by green patches that swirled and twisted like living paintings. Mountains rose sharply like jagged teeth, and rivers sparkled under the sun. These colors, they are so bright, whispered Lyra, a tall, delicate alien with translucent skin that glowed softly. Her eyes, a deep violet, reflected awe and nervous curiosity. Kiro, a shorter alien with 4 arms and mottled green skin, shook his head. I read about this world in textbooks, but I never imagined it would look like this. They call it a death world, but it seems calm from here. Professor Orlin, their guide and teacher, chuckled. He was a human, one of the few who had studied alien civilizations extensively and traveled to many worlds. Calm. You'll see soon enough. Earth is beautiful and dangerous. The nickname is not an exaggeration. The students glanced at each other nervously. Some of them were from worlds where life was soft and predictable. They were used to gentle winds, small creatures, and quiet nights. This planet, with its roaring oceans and thick forests, felt alive in a way that was almost threatening. The starship landed in a clearing near a dense forest. The ground shook slightly, and the students could hear distant sounds, roars, cries, and the rustle of creatures moving unseen. They disembarked carefully, each step tentative. Lyra bent down to touch the soil. It smells. Strong, alive, as Professor Orlin said. Earth's life is resilient. Every plant, every creature is designed to survive harsh conditions. You'll need to remember that. The students set up temporary shelters and began exploring nearby areas. At first, everything seemed peaceful. Birds chirped, insects buzzed, and small mammals scurried through the underbrush. Some students laughed, thinking the nickname DEATHWORLD was an exaggeration. But the first warning came quickly. A small, furry creature darted across the clearing. Almost instantly, a larger predator, a sleek, gray animal, with sharp teeth, lunged and caught it. The students froze, horrified. That happened in seconds, stammered Lyra, a blue-skinned alien with luminous eyes. On my world, predators. They take time. They never act so fast. Professor Orlin nodded. Earth is fast. Everything here evolves to survive or to hunt. You have to be alert at all times. That night, the students gathered around a campfire. The flames cast long shadows on their unusual forms. They shared nervous whispers as strange sounds echoed from the forest. What are those howls? Asked Tiri, a small, delicate alien who could change her skin color to blend with surroundings. She shivered. They are predators communicating, Orlin explained. They are far from you, but you must respect their presence. This planet does not forgive carelessness. Some students tried to sleep, but none could rest well. Every rustle, every snap of a branch made them tense. Lyra stared at the dark tree line, feeling eyes watching her. It's alive, she whispered. The forest. It is watching. The next morning brought new challenges. The students were assigned field exercises, basic survival skills. They had to collect water, identify edible plants, and map the area. Even simple tasks were dangerous. Thorny plants scratched delicate skin, small venomous creatures hid in the shadows. And the uneven terrain caused several students to stumble and fall. Kiro groaned. This is harder than any simulation. My arms are strong, but my balance, it fails here. Professor Orlin smiled faintly. Earth's gravity is slightly higher than your homeworld's. You will feel it until your body adjusts. And the life here. It is clever. You must learn quickly or risk injury. During a water collecting exercise, Lyra spotted something moving near the riverbank. A large, dark shape slithered silently through the grass. Her heart raced. What is that? She whispered. Stay calm, Orlin said. That is a common predator. Notice how it moves. Quiet, deliberate. Observe, then move safely. But before anyone could react, the creature lunged at a small alien student who had wandered too close. The predator's speed shocked everyone. Orlin acted instantly, shouting and throwing a small net to distract it. The student scrambled back, unharmed but trembling. Earth does not forgive mistakes, Orlin said quietly, as everyone caught their breath. 1 second of distraction can be deadly. By midday, the students began to understand the first lesson of the Death World. This planet was alive, yes, but it was also ruthless. Life here demanded alertness, skill, and courage. The afternoon brought more surprises. A sudden thunderstorm rolled in, sending heavy rain and lightning across the forest. The students struggled to secure their equipment and shelters. Kiro, usually confident, slipped in the mud and fell into a small stream. Lyra rushed to help, realizing that even water could be dangerous. "This is harder than I imagined," Kiro admitted, shaking off mud. "On my world, storms are gentle. Here, it feels like the planet itself is testing you." Professor Orlin nodded. "Exactly. That is why humans thrive here. We learn to adapt. We respect the dangers, but we do not fear them entirely. You will see that soon enough." As night fell again, the forest seemed even more alive. Strange cries echoed and distant fires from lightning-lit areas flickered in the distance. The students huddled together, exhausted but fascinated. Lyra whispered to Tiri, "I thought we came here to study life, but I think the life is studying us too." Tiri shivered. "I think you are right. Every sound, every shadow. It feels like the forest is alive in a way I've never experienced." Professor Orlin watched quietly. He knew that by the morning, the students would begin their first real test, venturing deeper into the forest, where danger was not just possible, it was certain. He thought about the nickname Death World. Many outsiders heard it and laughed. They imagined a dramatic story, but it was true. Earth was not cruel without reason. It demanded respect and adaptation. And for anyone unprepared, it could be deadly in moments. But for those who learn to move carefully, think quickly, and adapt like humans, Earth offered lessons that no classroom could teach. The students drifted to sleep, still uneasy, but their minds were alive with questions and curiosity. Lyra looked at the stars through the canopy and whispered softly, "I don't know if I can survive here, but I want to try." In the distance, the howls continued. The predators watched. The forest waited. And the students for the first time began to understand why Earth earned its fearsome title, the Death World.